Okay, I didn't expect to do this today, but you know, life lemons, and I don't really care about the analogy. I'm gonna wait for people to show up before. Okay, so it's I got a lot to say about this topic. It's it's not really fun. Oh, hello, Ralph the bearded dragon. So far we got people showing up. That's nice. That's nice. So I got a lot to say about this subject. I was gonna say this for a video, but personally, I don't really have time. I already have projects in the works right now, so I just want to get this out of my system to talk about because it's a comic book movie, and we got to talk about I talk about comic book stuff on my channel, so I think it fits very well. But yeah, so if you haven't heard, it got announced, I think, a couple hours ago that Wonder Woman 1984, the newest blockbuster in the DC universe, whatever's left of it, got pushed to HBO Max. It's like having a hybrid release of it being released in theaters simultaneously of being released on HBO Max on Christmas Day. So it's not getting pushed to 2021. It's not doing like that weird January thing that people were talking about. Yeah, thank you, Corbin. Yeah, Aurora, Aurora, I'm gonna be out of the business. Yeah, honestly, yeah. My whole issue with this subject is that I just don't. For me, as a theater buff, I love going to movie theaters simply because I don't really like. I don't. It's not like I don't pay attention at home, but I'm more prone to be on my phone watching movies in my house rather than being in a movie theater. Being in a movie theater is something else because you are basically transported into a different world. And when you pull out a phone in a movie theater, unless you're an asshole, you don't usually do that type of stuff. You usually pay attention to what's on the screen. And the fact that for me, I didn't expect Warner Bros. To do this out of everybody here, out of all the big companies, because they lost money on tenants. And I'll give them credit for trying to save the movie theaters, but I mean they didn't really do that well with tenants. So I didn't expect them to push. I didn't expect them to keep Wonder Woman on stage, especially since every other movie in that December lineup was getting pushed to 2021, including Dune, which was on their own schedule and stuff. And the fact that now we're going to get this hybrid release. And honestly, I don't really expect Wonder Woman to make that much money in theaters, not only just because of the pandemic, but also because comparing it to HBO, like if you're going to choose in between seeing in a movie theater and watching it at home, most people are going to choose HBO Max because they can easily, unless they have some rule that you can't watch it on your 7-day free trial. I mean, imagine how many free trials would be wasted on this movie, and then they're not going to make much money. I just don't see the profit margin in you pushing Wonder Woman to HBO Max because, I mean, HBO Max, they don't really have a lot of good originals so far. They have the Disney Plus issue. The only thing I've seen from them so far is that American Pickle movie with Seth Rogen. That's the only thing I've seen from them. I haven't watched Lovecraft County. I haven't watched anything else from them because I don't know. They haven't really interested me that much. And the only good stuff that we've been hearing about is like all the DC stuff and the Friends reunion and everything that isn't getting pushed to later on. I think that Fresh Prince reunion is coming in later, but not many big titles from them so far. So this is kind of like a attempt, but they're not going to make any money like as in terms of selling it off because they already own HBO Max. Warner Bros. Does. This isn't like a Netflix situation where Paramount gave Cloverfield or Lovebirds to Netflix and they got like $100 million paycheck. I just don't. This would be a Mulan situation where they're going to lose money on this, and the fact that I don't know, it's just frustrating because I don't want the movie theaters to die. And I really feel like by the time, if we do get a vaccine in the States by like March, April, May next year, that we won't be able to see movies in theaters. And this whole situation with Wonder Woman kind of confirms that. I know people were talking about the whole Universal issue with, they wanted, like AMC was banning them because they wanted to do the hybrid release with all their big movies. And now Warner Bros. Is doing that, but the theaters are just kind of bowing down to it because they have no, options left. And I feel like Warner Bros. Is kind of giving them the middle finger, especially since they've already lost money with Tenet. They're going to lose money on Wonder Woman. I just don't see this as a good issue. I know you want to get the movie out since it's been delayed for over a year, and they've been pushing this constantly. Even in this year, it's had like 4 release dates. But now that they're just gonna, oh my god, yeah. If you hear in the background, my cats are just screwing around my green screen. but it's a mess. I don't know. I just feel like this is not going to turn out well. I feel like not only that is that I'm really mad that that massive Marvel and DC video that I spent hours making, like 2.5 weeks in making that, is going to be outdated by December. Like I knew it was going to be outdated eventually, but the fact that it's now not going to be relevant, or not relevant, but it's not going to be up to date by Christmas because Warner Bros. Was like, we'll just drop it for you, Graham. We're going to screw you over. That's great. Hey, sorry about that. I don't know. It's just a baffling situation. I just don't like. I'm excited to see the movie. I'm glad that we're getting it and that we're not gonna have to wait another 6 months. But I think it would have been smarter to release it in June. I mean, I don't even think that there are many big movies coming out in June next year. Like what, Venom, Ghostbusters. I mean, okay, they're titles, but they're not like Jurassic World or anything like that. I don't know. I just feel like it's kind of a waste of their money, Warner Bros. And I just feel like I don't know. It's just I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts on it? You want to chat in the comments about it, but it's just so frustrating because you know again, I don't like the fact, especially since I have so many videos planned out for December, a ton of Christmas videos planned out for the month, and now that I'm gonna have to squeeze in not only that because of the massive Pixar Dreamers ranking I'm doing, but I'm gonna have to squeeze in a Wonder Woman review in between all that craziness. Oh yeah, Chaos Walking. I forgot about that movie. Oh yeah, that disastrous production. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we got that on streaming. I don't see that coming to theaters. However, they would have lost more money if they kept delaying it because the investors had to tie in Doritos and everything. That is a valid point, Christian. I think. I mean, it does cost studios money to push it back. It's not like they can just drop it on a day and just wait on it. It's understandable, but at the same time, I just don't see. It's $1 billion movie, and I feel like at most they may make 20 to 30 million in theaters, not just from the fact that, unlike Tenet, where Tenet was a strictly theatrical release, but also, what was it? I feel like we may go into another lockdown in the beginning of the year, so Wonder Woman may only get like, a month's worth of theatrical run on top of an HBO Max release, in which you either your two options are, okay, I want to go to drive on Christmas Day, drive to, go to a movie theater, $20. And unlike me, who's a massive theater buff, I mean, the average person doesn't go to see many movies in theaters per year. And, they're not really interested in going to see all the like any of the smaller, so they usually save for the blockbusters. And the fact that, with everything going on, they're like, oh, I don't want to get sick. I don't want to, get infected in the theater. So it's either pay $20 to go see it per person, probably because it's overpriced, usually a lot of the time, or okay, I'll just you get a free trial on HBO Max and just watch it for free. Like it's obvious that the majority of people are going to choose the other choice that's easier for them. And I don't know, it's kind of a shame because again, I kind of wanted Wonder Woman to get pushed to summer, not only because I think it should get a big release because it's a big movie, but also again my Marvel DC video is gonna be outdated now, which is disappointing. But I mean, this will really signify the future of what movies are gonna go. Any of these big films, I think we might go to another Mulan situation where Mulan really didn't do well, or streaming wise, and they just started selling it off to other you know companies like Amazon and like any service that bought movies. That's what they did with Mulan because Disney kind of screwed the pooch with that one. And I wouldn't be surprised if Wonder Woman kind of does the same thing where they're gonna price it for like $20 on Amazon or Vudu, and I just feel like that's what's gonna happen. I just don't see this movie making that much of a profit margin. I don't know what's the difference between how much a movie costs or what's the profit margin is in between you getting views on a streaming service and subscriptions versus money in the theater. But I'm so conflicted of whether I want to go see in a theater because again, I already own HBO Max, because I got a free trial. Well, not for because of a free trial. I had an HBO Now account, and it kind of got transferred over automatically when it launched. So it's either I go see it at an AMC for $20, or I literally can just walk to my basement. I'm actually in my basement right now, but I can go to my basement and watch it for free. That's the difference. And I feel like the studios, I guess I get it's a hard time, but I think they should have delayed it further. But it's just, I don't know. I'm conflicted about it because it's just, I just wanted this. I don't know. I wanted to see this movie get the theatrical run it deserved. It looks good. The second trailer wasn't that massive when they premiered at DC Fandom, but I mean it looks fun. I just feel like the fact they're doing this hybrid thing, maybe it could work, maybe it doesn't, but I just don't want to see this be the future for movies being distributed, and just stuff like that. I don't know. I had to vent about it. Unrelated to, but what happened? But what helped you come up with this Sunspot horror short? Oh, thank you for talking about Sunspot. Also, if you guys want to, shout out questions, I'll be here for a few minutes talking about it. Well, Sunspot, that was kind of, I actually had no script for it. I just kind of based it on a dream I had, almost like I had these flashing images in my head about what I wanted to do, and I just kind of like played it out throughout. And Colin Stetson's score, the score that's used throughout that shorts, that's usually what the drive that helped me make that. But yeah, that's what I used. But I don't know. What am I thinking? It's just there's a lot of, I don't know. I just want more movies to be released in theaters. Hopefully when this thing ends, maybe in April, June, May. Voice crack. Are we allowed to ask questions? Yeah, you can ask questions if you want, Jasmine. I'm an open book with this one. I'm just kind of venting out because I mean, I think it was worth to talk about because this is going to determine the future of the film industry. I want to get into filmmaking. I mean, I do YouTube as a hobby, but I'm someone who legitimately wants to get into the industry, and knowing that this could be the future. Where you're like, oh, certain big films can be released in theaters, and you either do that or going to be dumped on Netflix, and that's why I'm so concerned about it. And I don't know, maybe this could work, maybe this can't. I just don't see it working because we'll have Mulan, because that was such a disaster. I mean, I don't mind movies like Chaos Walking or any of those like smaller titles that wouldn't have made much money going to streaming, but I don't want I want Candyman to be delayed or put on a streaming service. I want to see Fast 9 in a theater. I want to go see Conjuring in a theater. I want to go see Black Widow in a theater. Stuff like that. And it's kind of frustrating when I don't know, you don't get that experience because of what's going on, and it's frustrating. Oh my God. Which is the worst and best Sonic games for you? I've only played Sonic Colors, and I've played bits of the original Genesis games on like the what is it? That GameCube multi-pack where they have like 6 or 7 Sonic games. I mean, Sonic Colors is personally my favorite Sonic game, but yeah. But I don't know. I want to know from you guys: are you guys gonna watch Wonder Woman in a theater, or are you guys gonna watch on HBO Max? Because I posted a poll on my story on my personal Instagram about it, because I want to see like what's like the poll for. I'm gonna actually pull it up right now. I need to see this. Let's. Makes me wonder if Disney will do the same with Black Widow, because they had to delay the shows on Disney Plus too, because everything is connected. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Black Widow is connected to Falcon and Winter Soldier in some plot point, because I that's what I heard why that got delayed. WandaVision, I think WandaVision is a good start for the Phase 4 of the MCU, because everyone's like, oh, Marvel's all the same, and then you're like, oh, look how crazy WandaVision is, and it's just kind of like, oh, okay, they can actually do something different. So I think I'm really excited for WandaVision. I just really hope that they drop it all at once. I hate the whole Mandalorian thing, and the same thing they did with The Boys season 2, where it's just like, let's just drop one episode a week for you guys. I don't want to spend 2 months binging a 6 hour miniseries. Like I'm currently binging Dexter. Dexter, that's like 8 seasons worth of TV that you need to break up on. But like WandaVision, I can easily binge that. What do you hate more, Shark Tale or The Boss Baby? Hmm. Shark Tale. We'll see my ranking soon, hopefully. Yeah, so my poll on my story right now, out of the 8 people that voted, 7 of them saying they're going to go for theaters and 1 for HBO Max. Yeah. So far, yeah, 86% theaters, 14% HBO Max. So, I mean, people are still want to go to the theater. I just think people need to support the theaters when they need it because I think that you've got to preserve that theatrical experience. And especially since once we get out of this pandemic, because it's not going to last forever, but the initial wave of it will probably be over by mid 2021. Fingers crossed. But the fact when we get to some sort of normalcy, I think the theaters need to be there to remind us of, okay, this is what we get back to. I think if theaters are gone, it will just have an empty hole in my heart. I mean, literally, the I the I think it's been 2 months since I saw a movie in theaters. I last week I watched that movie Freaky with Vince Vaughn. That's a lot. That's the first time I watched a movie in 2 months since Tenet. Like I don't know. I used to go to theaters a lot more often. Let me see. Are you excited for the Croods 2 or no? I like the first Croods. I'm surprised they actually made that movie because I thought it was delayed or I thought it was canceled a long time ago. But I am going to go see it in theaters next week for the big ranking video that I'm doing. Hopefully, I'll get it out by December. But again, Wonder Woman, they're all picking there. But I mean, I'll watch it. I hope for the best, but it just seems like I don't know. It just such is I don't know. I don't know what to feel about it. Are you going to check out the Superman Lois on the CW? I mean, maybe at some point, but the CW universe is something that I'm not very interested in personally, and that there's so much going on. Or there's so many shows to catch up on that like I just I'm kind of intimidated by it. Have you seen The Witches 1990 and 2020? I have not seen the Witches movies yet, but I probably hopefully will. Have you seen the Tom and Jerry the movie from 1993? When I was super young, I watched that movie and I was like, why are Tom and Jerry talking? That's weird. But I haven't watched it in years. That new one looks kind of odd too. What are your thoughts on portable DVD players? I like them but they should be used for portable purposes only. From my experience, I have bad lasting time compared to regular them. I haven't used a portable DVD player in years because I mean I usually just use my phone or laptop to watch stuff. And if I watch something physical, I watch it in my house or somebody else says I don't like watch it on the go. But I mean from what I remember, I mean they were fine. From what I've heard, it will be more focused on Lois and the kids than Superman. I mean if it's well written, then I mean yeah, as long as it's well written, then I'm fine with it. But yeah, that doesn't sound the most interesting. It sounds like Superman Returns. It's just I don't know. I just really can't believe that Wonder Woman was getting pushed. Like out of all the movies that got delayed, that's the movie that has to stick. The comic book movie, the one that I don't know why I'm venting about this. We're gonna see it. Have you seen Hardcore Henry? I have. I watched it back when it came out like 4 years ago, and I remember it being I remember being okay. I like the aspect of it being first person, but it just really didn't have a story that really interested me. It had cool action scenes, but that's really all it had, and really nothing else. How would you rank the movies based on video games from the worst to best? It can be from what you've seen or whatever you want. That's a lot of movies that are based on video games that I've seen. I've seen all the Resident Evil movies, the really crappy ones are Mila Jovovich. I've seen the Super Mario Brothers movie. I've seen what else? I've seen Street Fighter movies. I've seen. Sorry, my cat's acting stupid again. The majority of them are crap. Aside from Tomb Raider, Detective Pikachu, and Sonic, those are the only ones I think are somewhat decent. In your opinion, what's the most overrated movie of all time? In my opinion, it's Zack Snyder's 300. There's a lot of movies I consider overrated. And overrated doesn't mean bad, but not necessarily. It just means not as good as the majority say it is. There's a lot of stuff that get in my mind. I recently rewatched The Thing, John Carpenter's one, and although I do really like that movie, it's not as great. It's my personal place. Everyone else says it is. Edward Scissorhands, don't really like that one. Uh, Godfather, great movie, but it didn't really stick with me personally because everyone said it was the best movie of all time. The one I was looking forward to was Godzilla vs Kong, and that one Godzilla vs Kong. I mean, I'm interested in checking it out. It's just King of the Monsters sucked for me. I didn't like it, so I'm not really interested that much. Like, I'm not really, I'm gonna see when it comes out, but I'm not, was it, jumping at the bit for it. Especially what I've heard, that's mainly just about two teenage girls or whatever. It sounds really weird to me. Sure, if 1994 is a guilty pleasure for me. Yeah, I can see why. Do you still consider making the Professor Marston video? There's a lot of stuff I'm making at the moment. I'm kicking back underrated films. For now, I've started doing it again. So, I mean, the issue is that I'm doing a bunch of Christmas videos right now, playing a bunch of them out, and then I'm gonna have to do Wonder Woman, and then we have to do the big ranking video of Pixar and DreamWorks. So the rest of the year is really stacked for me. The best I'll probably do January, but yeah, I'm still interested in checking it out. As much as I love James Cameron, I think both Titanic and Avatar are overrated. Yeah, I think that too. Titanic, great movie, but I mean, again, that movie didn't stick with me that much. And then Avatar is just okay. I didn't grow up with it. All I heard was, oh, the effects are good, and that was it. I just don't see why that's all the movie's based off of. Tron or Blade Runner? Blade Runner easily. How would you rank the Street Fighter films worst to best? There's only two of them, I think. The two live action ones. Second, the Legend of Chun-Li, whatever it's called, that one was just bad. And then the Street Fighter one is also bad, but at least that one's entertaining, I'm gonna go for a few more minutes. I'm gonna log off. I don't know. I just felt like talking to you guys. Do you think Wesley Snipes would be a good recast after Chadwick's death? I can see Wesley Snipes being a good Black Panther, but not in the MCU. I really want John David Washington to play T'Challa. Not only because he's becoming a big star now because of Black Klansman and Tenet. I just think, I don't know, he has the charisma I can see from doing his own interpretation of T'Challa, but also with him being able to do his own version. That's a very difficult thing to discuss because you're revolving around an actor's death, and you can't do CGI, which I'm glad they confirmed they're not going to do that, because you can't. It's not like a Paul Walker thing where like he filmed most of the scenes where they had to do a couple of extra things. I just think that's what I would do. I think recasting is just the easiest way to do it. They've already done it with Hulk, and they already did War Machine. Have you seen Gamer from 2009? I have not seen Gamer. I honestly think Titanic has a better story, especially since it is based off a sad tragedy, even though Avatar does look stunning. Yeah. I recently love Michael Clark Duncan. Yeah, Michael Clark Duncan, he was such a good actor. I really, whenever he was on screen, I loved him in Green Mile. And even though the Ben Affleck Daredevil movie was crap, it was just, he was great in it. Do you have a Letterbox account? If yes, what is it called? I do have a Letterbox account. I'll check it out. I don't really use it that much because I usually use IMDb. But if you're interested in my Letterbox account, have you seen the Hotel Transylvania films? Yes, I have. I reviewed every single one of them on my Adam Sandler marathon. So if you want my thoughts on them, you can check those videos out. How would you rank the Iron Man movies from worst to best? 2 is the worst, then 3, and then the original is the best. Yeah, so my account is called... Yeah, my account's just called CBMF Productions. All lowercase and all one word. If you're interested in checking that out. Also, just want to get this out of the way. I'm just going to plan out announce a few videos I'm going to do over the course of November and December. I am bringing back every film franchise ranked. I'm going to rank all the American Pie movies, all the Tremors films, and all the what's the third one? All the Doolittle movies. 2020 franchises, whatever came out. This could be an interesting list. So that will be coming out hopefully in the next few days. Also, I'm going to be doing a ranking all the David Fincher films for Mank coming out, a bunch of Christmas videos, Home Alone 4, doing a Silent Night movies, reviewing the Polar Express game, doing another horror short for Christmas. Very excited to make that one. And also going to do, doing Wonder Woman 84, and I'm going to do a Pixar DreamWorks video. I think that's what my plans are for the rest of the year. There's a Street Fighter animated series that's kind of a sequel to the original movie. Okay. Can you rank the Hollywood of favorite films? What's the best, and what are your thoughts on them? 2 is my least favorite. 3 is, yeah, 3 is slightly better than 2, and then the original for me is the best. And I like all 3 of them, like pretty much all equally. I think the first one's the best because it has the best flavor to them, and yeah. But yeah, I think I think I'll wrap it for tonight. Thank you guys for watching. I know it was kind of brief, but I just needed to vent it out. And hopefully I'll do a live stream next time. I might do one for Christmas or whatever time. I'll definitely do one when I hit 900 subs. So make sure to, like, comment, and subscribe, and share my videos around, man. And, I appreciate all you guys for checking out the live stream and commenting down below, and just have a good time, and just, have a good night, everyone. Peace out.